What's going on, everybody? Welcome. And this video, I already know is going to get a whole lot of comments from a whole lot of trolls. But I don't care, so here we go. Why do people hate Freemasonry? I'm going there. Why do people hate Freemasonry? Or better question, here's a better question, kind of a two-part question. Do you hate Freemasons or do you hate Freemasonry? It's a very important question, very important distinction. Do you hate Freemasons, the individuals, such as myself, or do you hate Freemasonry? Okay? The organization, the mystery, I don't know what you want to call it. Because I find it weird, hilariously weird, that many people who I converse with on the internet or just social media in general, Facebook, mainly on YouTube, something like that, have a whole lot to say about Freemasonry or Freemasons, have a whole lot of opinions that when I ask, have you ever met a Freemason before? Where you getting this information from? They seem to be very confident about their ignorance, which leads me to believe that most of the times, the people who hate Freemasons or Freemasonry have absolutely no encounter whatsoever, or they'll blame Freemasonry for either their problems individually or the problems that go on in the world. Like, Freemasonry is the reason why you are messed up in your life. Like, your situation is bad because of Freemasonry. The whole world is messed up because of Freemasonry. Even though these crazy things that have been going on in the world have been going on way before there was Freemasonry. That's like someone saying movies and video games are the reason why children or young adults are so violent, as if the violence wasn't crazy enough before movies and video games. You see what I'm saying? So I always want to know, and I always ask this question, but I never get a straight answer as to the reason for the hate. And I know for me personally, in the comment sections and stuff like that, all these fake woke conspiracy theorist people all up in the comment section spouting their rhetoric about devil worship and evil and your soul's gonna burn in hell and Jesus is the only way and save your soul. And when I asked them, have you ever met personally a Freemason? Have you ever asked firsthand these questions? And usually I'll get an insulting remark, or I'll get some more, all I know is you need to save your soul. Jesus is the only way. Even after I explain to them that Freemasonry is not a religion. And I say this plenty of times, it is not a religion. And nowhere does it say that you have to believe in a particular religion to be a Freemason. No, it doesn't say that. It's not a religion. People forget, or either forget or they don't know. 9 out of 10 they don't know that there are Freemasons from different religions all over the world. So it boggles my mind when I see people in the comments or whatever, what have you, in videos saying these things, but like I said, I asked them, have you ever met a Freemason? And then here's another thing. Hold on. And so you gotta become a doctor. What's this? What? Oh. Here's another thing. Whenever you say, have you ever met a Freemason? And they say no, and they give you the whole runaround. And then I would say, well, you're talking to one. Like, you're speaking to one about Freemasonry. Right? You're getting first-hand information from an actual Freemason. How is it that you feel as though your information can supersede mine when you're not a part? That is like equivalent to saying, okay, who would you rather, if you were going to a basketball camp, right? Who would you rather take basketball lessons from? The guy at the local YMCA or Michael Jordan? Who would you, if you ask any person, hey, look, you want to learn basketball, right? You want to learn the game of basketball? All right, you got a choice. I could take you to the local YMCA, the local group, and you can learn from somebody who was a bench warmer, who may know a little bit about the game but haven't applied anything, or we can go to a Michael Jordan basketball camp. Which one do you think people are going to go for? You guessed it, Michael Jordan basketball camp all day. And why? It's because you understand that there are levels. Regardless of the information you think you may know, it will never supersede what someone knows firsthand. So that's like, and when I say yes, I'm a Freemason, they say, well, you're low level. Even though I never say what quote unquote level I'm on, whatever that means. It's whole thing about levels. See, whenever we discuss these level things, degrees and levels, obviously really don't know what they're talking about. Now, that's just one of many different things that's just crazy about this, as to why people hate Freemasonry. Because also, I would say, wait, is the actual person, is it actually the Freemason? Like, what is it that you actually don't like? That's the thing. No one ever answers or give me a straight answer as to what is it that you don't like. What is it that you don't like about Freemasonry? Whenever I ask that question, I never get a straight answer. The answers that I get are really to redirect their actual argument. Like, I'll get called a name, right? I'll get called a name, And then I would ask, okay, you're calling me this name, but you haven't answered why you hate Freemasonry. You never answered that question. And say, well, oh, you know, just cause, or I saw the documentaries. There you go. That's nothing. The documentaries. The documentaries. You rather believe a documentary over someone either staring you in the face or talking to you online, giving you firsthand knowledge. That's your source. And if I say, okay, if you don't believe me, you can go check. Go check. Go check who that person is that on the documentary, and go check who I am. I'll tell you what lodge I belong to, all that. Like, it's no problem. Which means to tell you, if I'm willing to give you my information to go check, then what's the problem? What's the secret? Like, that's what you want, right? You want to know the quote unquote truth, what the truth is. So if I go, you tell you to go check, and you scared to check, then what's new now? So why do you hate Freemasons? And really, I know the answer to this. I know the answers to why people hate Freemasons or Freemasonry. I know the answers why. But it's more of just a conversation piece, because I don't feel like typing long messages back and forth to people about what they like and don't like. I don't care. I'm just saying, if you say you don't like something, okay. Well, if you say you don't like something, I say, okay, why don't you like it? And the best answer you can come up with is, they worship the devil, and then or better information can debunk that, and you still fighting. The fight is on you now, because like once you get to a point, where you're like, you know what? I know the person that's arguing with themselves really too afraid to question their own thoughts. Like, you got questions, and you want answers, except for when the answer debunks your questions. See, that's where it is. People who hate Freemasonry have questions that they want answered. Fine. Once those questions are answered and they're irrefutable, that you don't want to stop, which means you never wanted an actual answer. You just had a belief that you wanted to spew, and you're gonna hold on to that belief regardless. So it don't matter what I say. It don't matter what the actual truth is. If you're convinced of something, then nothing else is going to change it. So it's just funny. Like, I find it laughable at times when people do that. They're like, okay, you really don't know what you want. You just want to argue because it's a topic that's intriguing to you, but you don't want to question anything. You're too afraid of the answers that you may get, and even if you get the right answers, you don't believe the right answers. You have full faith in the wrong answers and no confidence whatsoever in the right answers. Strange. So why do you hate Freemasonry or Freemasons? I mean, if you think about it, you hate Freemasonry, but some of the folks that you like may be Freemasons. Then what? That's conflicting. So if you're a Denver Broncos fan, you love John Elway, but hate Freemasonry, problem. You love Scottie Pippen, but you hate Freemasonry, problem. See that? Sure. You hate Freemasonry? Nah. I think you just hate your ego broken. Your ego is the reason why you hate Freemasonry. Sad. Too bad. Wait at home. Peace.